everybody. Welcome to an episode of Waypoint Media Club. Today we're going to be discussing our thoughts on the most recent Nintendo Direct and predictions for Pokemon's anniversary. Today we have Jordan joining us.
What's up, everyone?
And Chris.
Hey!
We have two very special guests today. From Simply Sassy and the PokeRamble Podcast, we have Kumail.
I've made it.
He's done it, ladies and gentlemen.
And from PressYYZ, Mitch George.
Gotta catch them all.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon, not STDs. Just put it out there.
Yeah. We have to be
Thank
specific.
Right in.
Testing the waters. Testing the waters.
Just catch them all, you know? Gotta collect them all.
Believe it or not, that's not the worst thing we talked about yet. So
Not even close, no.
No, that's...
Buckle up.
but that's all before recording. So to start off Media Club, I just want to quick go over some updates to our Fantasy Critic League. So Jordan, I saw that you picked up Mario Golf Super Rush.
You
Yes,
what?
I did. Yeah.
How much?
You
I was
did it
looking to
cost
that
you?
direct to find something to pick up.
I got outbid in both of my leagues. How much did that cost you?
I bid $5.
See, I put $5 in both my leagues and got outbid by a lot.
I completely forgot
Really
to
paying
pick
Put
attention.
Mario
70
Golf.
quid on that. We all lost a bit on that one pick. Holy shit. $5.
It's because I
That's
put $2
insane.
down, hoping that nobody else would notice that I was trying to get it.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like someone else might, so like I'll risk 5.
I completely forgot. But Jordan, he also had Destruction All-Stars and Scott
Fucking cost
Pilgrim.
me.
So he is at a total of 2 points right now. Chris, you picked up Gran Turismo 7.
Yes, sir. I got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that's coming out later in the year. I
Yep.
think I had 0 points.
I haven't had
Correct.
anything released yet.
And then
Alright.
2 games I picked up. I should say 3 games because we hadn't recorded an update since the last time. I picked up Elden Ring for $1 because I had to drop
Upset
out
about that.
Overwatch 2. And then the 2 games I picked up this week, Guilty Gear Strive and Skyward Sword HD.
Guilty Gear
refuse to
Strive's a great
I was
pick.
thinking about betting on
I
that one, but it
refuse to
seemed,
get...
yeah, it seemed too risky because I know that the fan base is mixed on
I've
that
heard
game.
I've
We've
heard
got-
real
we've
good
got-
things
No,
though.
I played the beta. Strive.
Everything's
rad.
good.
Oh no, I meant
Yeah.
Skyward Sword.
He meant Skyward Sword.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, I refuse to pick up Skyward Sword.
I'm just
So,
thinking it reviewed
we had
well
someone-
last
we
time.
had
So
We had someone in our league only pick up games that were rumored and speculated. And
Oh my
so far, for
gosh.
no cost, he's got Skyward Sword and he's got the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake. So
So not official.
whether or not that
I have
second one
those on
becomes a
mine as
thing,
well. I have
I
the
was gonna say,
Diamond
we
Pearl
got
remakes on
words
mine.
to say, I'm sure, at some point today.
but then I've also got 16 points from Hitman 3.
Nice.
Then Austin, he already filled up his entire league. So he's got no new additions since the last time, but he's got 47 points, 19 from Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, 16 from Dead Cells Fatal Falls, and 12
Wow.
from Little Nightmares 2. So he is a heavy favorite right now. And then Josh hasn't done a thing, so he's got 0.
Sounds great. That's on brand. I
He's
don't
gonna
think
be
I
like a
do.
sleeper agent. He's just gonna start bidding in like November.
Once everything
Pokemon Sleep comes out of nowhere and he's just like 100 points. Just
Well,
do it.
November is when he's going to remember that he's a part of this thing, and
Yeah.
then he's going to be like, "Oh shit!" And then he's going to pick up something that gets him like 30 points and ends up winning the whole thing. Like,
Mhm. That's usually how it happens. So, overall thoughts on Nintendo Direct. Jordan, why don't you
I'm
start us
well.
off?
I mean, so like I went in with no expectations. Like I'm a Nintendo fan, but I'm not like diehard, and I'm also not a person that thinks companies should kill themselves if I just don't like what they announce. So like I was just like,
You
let's just see
madman.
what they have to offer. I do think that it could have been bigger for being the first direct in like a year and a half, but like I didn't hate it. A lot of the games that were on there are just not my type of games, but like I'm very excited for other people. I'd say that the one I'm most excited for is actually Skyward Sword. I've only ever played Breath of the Wild, but I do want to experience more Zelda games. So even if it's not the greatest, I'm very interested in trying out Skyward Sword for the first time, and I'm probably going to play it with motion controls because I want to feel cool.
I'm
sometimes.
using tilt controls.
That's the way to play
it.
I mean, yeah, it really is the way to play it. It's just
That feels harder to me because I want to be able to move the camera, not a sword with my right joystick.
well, I mean, you're gonna be Z targeting when you're in combat anyway, so it'll be
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it'll
Mhm.
it'll be locked onto the enemy that you're fighting. Like
Yeah.
even if you were using buttons, that's the traditional Zelda thing. It's a shame that that's going to be your first like traditional Zelda because it's not great.
Sets the bar
It's
low.
hard.
Maybe that's good though. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sets the bar low. Yeah, that's fair.
I can't be disappointed.
See, that's the thing though with Skyward Sword being like your first traditional Zelda. I think, at least for me, like that was the thing that made Skyward Sword great was playing other Zeldas, and this kind of bucked the trend of actually giving Zelda a character. And like actually gave
Yeah.
characters development and all that. It's like you're just gonna get that first and then kind of go backwards.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we do end up getting ports of Twilight Princess and Wind
Which
Waker.
Both
At
are
some
heavily
point.
rumored.
Heavily
I
rumored.
have
for
no
E3.
faith at this point that they're going to do that. Like legitimately
Oh.
no faith.
The anniversary was what on the 21st February.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Today, yeah.
yeah,
Today,
As of
yeah.
recording.
I do want to say that just in case you posted this tomorrow or something.
As of
So I said
recording,
as
yeah.
of recording. As of recording.
Yes.
Just because I feel like over the last few years, like Nintendo just consistently makes just really, really strange decisions. And I mean, even if you look at the anniversary for Mario was last year, and I mean that's Nintendo, that's their mainstay character. And what did they do for his anniversary? They're like, here's a couple old ports. Fuck you. Like,
Oh, and you can only buy it for a limited time.
yeah,
Fuck
only
you.
available till March, and then
And
they'll
they
kill
did
it.
put out
Mario
they did put out
3D.
3D World and Bowser's Fury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that considered as like, hey, we're celebrating the anniversary? Is
Yeah,
that
they
just
did
here's
say
new
that was
Mario
part of
game?
the
It was part of
anniversary.
their anniversary celebration. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was
Or
like
everything from
that
Wii U.
Mario 35 Direct.
Yep.
Yeah. Nintendo definitely went lazy with Mario's, but I think that was because Zelda has more games. They like at this point I think Zelda has more 3D games than 2D. It makes sense that they might put more games because I'd also be hyped to have the N64 ones ported over.
I think
Mhm.
everyone
don't-
would
I don't
probably
think-
prefer to wait for like single games to come out, like Skyward Sword HD, and have it properly, touched up, rather than just oh, let's just port. Oh, maybe you get like maybe one game that's widescreen from Mario. I think definitely I'd rather wait for like a Wind Waker HD than have it part of a collection and it just looking the same that it did on Wii U. To be honest with you.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what they're
I
gonna
think
do.
I think
It's-
COVID has affected Nintendo more than probably any other main like
Mhm.
first party developer, just because of how reliant they were on all office culture developing in Japan and all of that. So I think these anniversaries, honestly, for them probably came at the worst possible time, and that they couldn't get out a fresh new Mario experience minus the battle royale that they did. Mario, what was it, Mario 35 or whatever it was,
35,
as
yeah.
well as Bowser's Fury. Zelda, I'm still holding out hope because Skyward Sword's been announced for later in the year. I still think we're going to get a Zelda themed direct between now and then. They're going to announce a bunch of events and things like that for Animal Crossing probably, and ports of the two Wii U HD games. Wind Waker is probably a little more difficult than Twilight Princess, just because it did seem to rely a little more on the gamepad on the Wii U than Twilight Princess. Plus, Twilight Princess was built for the GameCube originally, so
Yeah.
the format does convert pretty well.
Mhm.
So we'll have to wait and see. I still think those announcements are coming. I don't like the fact that they've put out the idea that Skyward Sword is a full price release 10 years later, where when Skyward Sword originally released for $10 more than retail, you got a limited edition controller. And now they are going to sell you $90 controllers separate from the game that they're already charging
That I
$60
bought.
for.
That I bought.
Ooh, those things are sexy though.
They look great, but
Damn, those Joy-Cons are nice, but yeah, $90 is steep, especially when you know that it's going to start drifting after like a year.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't care.
Just
They
put
look
them in
good.
a little shelf and don't ever use them.
That's exactly
so you
what
don't
you
have to
want when it's
actually
relying on like motion controls. Is it just to drift to one side in the middle of a battle?
Like,
And you might get to a
perfect.
point where you have to use the motion controls because you won't be able to use the right stick for anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, I
Someone will
remember-
say, "Oh, that's how the game's meant to be played. That's why they've done it."
It's part
Yeah,
of the
that's-
experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nintendo's playing the long con with drift.
So
First-
for
The
me,
long
personally,
Joy-Con.
I was a fan of this direct just because I've gotten to a point
Mhm.
where I know not everything is going to be for me. I'm not a huge JRPG guy. I'm not a huge That's kind of it. So I kind of go into each of these presentations, depending on their length, looking for 3 things to come out of it that I want to play. I want to play Skyward Sword again because I never finished it on the Wii. I want to play Splatoon 3 when that eventually comes out. And I'm so down for more Mario Golf. It's not even funny. So
Mario Golf
I was pleasantly
a big
surprised.
takeaway for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I'm not really a JRPG fan. I used to be when I was younger. As I got older, it's just a lot of them take so much time, and I can't devote like 90 hours to every single game that I play every year. You know. But yeah, Mario Golf I think was far and away like the one game that I was like, oh hell yeah,
Speed
like,
golf.
Because like I love all the Mario sports games in general. Like they're fun. I enjoy them. But then they added motherfucking speed golf, and I was like, fast
golf is gonna
golf,
be-
let's fucking go.
Golf with your
Golf with
friends,
friends
but
in
in
HD.
Mario. Let's do it.
The moment I
Yeah.
saw them running around on the course, I was like, oh, this is golf with your friends, but Mario. And I was like, cool. That's pretty much what I want out of it.
Everybody's golf and Mario, yeah.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to think of. Everybody's golf. Thank you.
It is both everybody's golf and golf story because they do it with the story mode.
Oh, I'm so happy with the story mode thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are
getting
getting really stuck on the story mode. Mario sports games have had story modes for years.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, I played
The last Mario Tennis had
80s.
one. The original Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color had
But it
one.
wasn't very good. That's the problem.
I
The
How
last
dare
Mario
you.
Tennis story mode was not good.
adjusted.
It was not
Yeah.
good.
No, yeah,
And
no,
the
it wasn't
difficulty
good.
curve was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do have faith though, because Camelot is the developer of this, and they were the ones that made those original Mario
Postal
Sports
Tour.
titles with the really deep RPG systems,
they
unlike
were
the
very
GBA
good.
and the GameCube. So I'm holding out hope.
See-
Fun fact: Camelot also made the Golden Sun titles,
Yeah.
which I always thought was fascinating. I was like, what are the games that these guys have made? Oh, they made Golden Sun and also Mario Tennis.
And Toadstool Tour. Best Mario Golf.
Toadstool Tour, yeah,
Best
baby.
Mario Sports title, bar none.
Yes, baby.
I was always a
Toadstool
fan
Tour
of
was fucking sick.
the baseball game on the GameCube. That was fun.
I didn't have a GameCube.
Give me
I
another one
don't
of
think I
those.
played that one.
Yeah,
Strikers
that's one.
on the GameCube.
Give me
I really
Strikers
liked.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strikers on the Wii I really liked. I
I don't even
know
like
I was chatting with MC Fixer after all this, and he's holding out hope that them announcing a Mario Golf game means that Strikers is coming back at some point. And I'm so happy for him to have that much faith in Nintendo because I don't.
I feel like it's the other way
Yeah.
around. It's like, oh, now Strikers
Yeah.
won't be coming out for like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think
At
we're getting
minimum.
Strikers for a long time, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for ruining my day.
I'm sorry. It's just they're
Wasn't
gonna
there-
do golf and tennis until the end of time.
Wasn't their original complaint that in Strikers they looked too aggressive for how they
Oh,
want
yeah.
their characters to be or something like that?
The Wii one
real?
for sure.
Yeah.
The Wii one for
Yeah.
sure.
They were just like, that's not
Yeah.
what our brand is, and they had to like pull back.
I'm still holding out hope for a new Mario basketball game. That's what I really want because all we've had is like 3-on-3 on the DS. You know, I was like, give me Mario basketball.
Mario
I
jumps
think-
for the net, gets a mushroom, and goes boom.
Rad as shit.
Kumail, what were your
That'd be
thoughts
cool.
on the direct?
I was surprised because I thought it was good. And this is me coming out from an angle where I'm like, I'm ready to see some games and like play some more games. And literally that's all I was there for. And I put a tweet out afterwards, like saying, is this amazing? Is this good? Is this fine? Or is it terrible? And like with about 50% of people said it's terrible. And I was like, what?
That shocks me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe it. But like standouts for me is obviously the Square Enix titled Project Triangle Strategy. I mean, that looks fantastic to me. I'm ready for another like 2.5 HD game. There was a game by the Danganronpa creator that was like collaborated with the Escape. I can't remember the name of.
World's End Club, I think it was.
Yeah, World's Game Club. World's End Club. That's it. I'm excited for that, for mystery, and that Famicom detective mystery game. I was like, that looks interesting, and the fact that they've like changed it so much, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely in for that. So I thought it was pretty good. There's another Musou game coming to like the Switch, and I have no idea how that's going to run. So
Samurai Warriors 5.
yeah, I've no. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, Splatoon 3 at the end was the get hype moment, but I was kind of surprised to see it there as well because they were like, we're only focusing on the first half. So we'll see. But this makes me think that Nintendo are going to have another big direct later on in the year, and let's see what they announce then. We might get what most people wanted, but I think people, expecting Bayonetta 3, expecting Metroid to be there when we know that developments had to be restarted on it, were just wildly like crazy to think that was going to be there. So yeah.
For me, I was I came out of it pretty excited for some games. Like a couple of my highlights were No More Heroes 3. Like August seems a little late, but I'm okay with it. Take all the time you need. Mario Golf, obviously. Project Triangle Strategy. I'm excited for that because I played a bit of Octopath Traveler, but I don't know, some of those old school RPG style just don't quite click with me. But man, this being like a
Same.
Fire Emblem game, like I am all in on the art style and
Yeah, it's basically Final Fantasy Tactics in that art style, and it's like
which is rad.
Mhm.
It was very
Those games
discombobulated
are
the way
great.
Octopath Traveler was, where you get to someone's story and like go to the other side of the map to get the next part of the story, and then you meet someone else on the way. You get distracted, like, oh, what's this person's story? And then
Mhm.
at the end of it, you're looking at all these different like points on the map, like, oh, whose story do I go with next? And it just all gets confused in the mind. So hopefully,
Yeah.
this is a bit more sort of like contained. Let's say,
That's what it kind of looked like to me
yeah.
from the trailer they showed. But
Mm.
and then I wish I would have been recording a reaction because I was eating some Taco Bell while I was watching the direct on my way home from work, and I stopped and watched the entire direct. And when Skyward Sword came out, like I was pretty much the exact opposite of Joe Medforce because he posted on Twitter like that screenshot because he thought it was Wind Waker I'm like I knew right away like that's the sky from Skyward Sword, and I just lost it because Skyward Sword, it might not be one of my like top Zelda games, but it was one of my favorites just because I love the story, I love the characters. It's like the gameplay sucks, but it's just one of those games that just the story just clicked with me. Like,
I hadn't seen that clip of Joe, but I did the exact same thing. I did a live stream reaction to it, and I saw just like the blue, and I went, "It's motherfucking Wind Waker!" And then he starts falling on it, and on stream I just go, "No!" I was like so mad.
See, I didn't know enough about Zelda to be like, which one is this? Like, but I do know that Wind Waker, like Link
Very
being on
blue.
that boat, is a big thing. So I remember on the direct where they announced the Link's Awakening, like I saw the water, I heard the Zelda music, and I saw the boat. I was like, oh fuck, Wind Waker. I was like, and then they went. I was like, what the fuck is Link's Awakening? But
it's
is there any?
phenomenal, and you should play it.
Yeah, Link's Awakening is very good.
Link's Awakening is like the Zelda Pokemon Sleep.
Is it?
Tough
He
crowd.
hasn't played it,
No,
man.
it's
He's
not.
not gonna do it.
I got it.
One
I
of
got
them,
it.
one
I
of them
know.
has came
I can
out,
see
and the
it.
other hasn't. So it's not the Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, in that sense.
Any Smash players here? Like,
Well,
kinda?
casually, yeah.
Casually,
Okay,
yeah.
I am not big on Smash. I don't even own it. Like, but I pay attention to it. I have to say, I think the way that they announced Pyra was just hype because I was like, oh, okay, it's Xenoblade. I was like, it's Xenoblade 2 DLC, and it just
That's
kept
what I thought
going.
too, yeah.
And then I just hear, I got invited to Smash. I was like, okay, that's how they should do it from now on. Is like trick you.
Here's
They've
the
done it a
thing,
few
though.
times
I
like that.
expected it. I expected it when they like from the very beginning. I'm like, this is probably a Smash announcement. That's because they kind of teased it in their tweet, and I was like, there's no way they're doing another like Xenoblade 2 like story. There's no way. Yeah, I thought it was a bit bit obvious. But how does everyone feel about Pyra and Mithra being in Smash? Are they happy,
I'm not
sad? It's another
a
sword character.
Xenoblade.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm neutral, but like they seem cool. Like the dynamic of being able to switch between the two of them.
Mm.
Yeah,
it's
I don't-
bringing back the idea of Zelda and Sheik from
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
Yeah,
previous
that's
games
what-
as
that's
well.
what it
Right?
makes
We don't
me
have a
think.
character like that.
Yeah, I don't play Xenoblade, so I'm like, whatever. But I'm always down for a new Smash character, even if it's
I always
in
try
games
'em
I
out,
don't
yeah.
play. Yeah. I mean, I'll purchase them. I can't not. What am I supposed to do?
I've already
Just
got the
not have
pass
characters?
purchased at
Same.
this point.
Yeah.
Same.
It's like, what am I supposed to do? Just not have all the characters in Smash
You
Bros.
refuse to
the
play
same
Smash again just so you don't have it in the roster.
But yeah, like Mitch was saying, though, the mechanic is very, very cool, especially because it looks almost the change looks almost instant. They were showing up in the trailer like using it to like dodge attacks and then fire back, and it looks like both of the versions of the character, they both have different move sets, so that there's probably like some cool stuff you can do,
Yeah.
like chaining combos like that. Like I think it'll be a fun character to play, but as a like not a fan of the series, I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have kind of the same thoughts. Like, although I thought it was cool, like if I'm remembering right, because I haven't gone back to watch the direct, but like one of them seemed like a super fast attacker, and then the other was kind of like more slower, kind of heavy hitting, from what I understood.
I mean,
I'll
I'll
have to
go
watch
with
it again.
that. I haven't rewatched it since.
I took
I
it
guess
more
I
as
was
like
heard about it.
Pyra was like up close because she had the sword, and what's the other one's name? Myra.
Mithra.
Wow, not even close. She seemed like she was more distant, like with her attack. So maybe there's that dynamic in there. Again, I haven't
We'll have
watched
to wait for the
Sidekick here.
Sakurai breakdown video where he spends 45 minutes using 4
Exactly.
controllers to play the game and
Well, this is gonna be like-
character actually plays.
I was just gonna say this is gonna be like 2 hours of him doing that because it's 2 characters.
Yeah. I like to think that that's just his genuine like everyone else is like, hey, you want to like maybe lower it, make it. He's like, nope, I'm just gonna keep him rolling and let me talk.
Well, like he's probably going to be like, okay, and this is the history of Xenoblade. Well, it all started back in 1952.
Absolutely. We're 100% going to get that.
See, the word zine comes from the Latin origin. Like,
We're 100% going to get that. I think
I
didn't
thought you were
he
actually
teach
going
us how
to
to
a bit-
count binary last time?
That sounds
Yep.
right.
yeah.
for Steve.
For
was,
Sephiroth was the last one.
Sephiroth, yeah.
Sephiroth need binary.
And I think he just started doing it. And then he was
Oh.
like,
He was just doing it
here's-
with his hands. People were
And then he
confused.
goes, oh, if you're wondering, here's how to do it, and starts doing like
Wait, I
some
thought the
Naruto
binary
shit.
was for Fire Emblem, wasn't it? Because he was counting through all the games using binary.
I mean, whatever.
Maybe.
Naruto
Like
confirmed for
that.
Smash.
I can't remember at this point.
Couple other things before we move on. Just a couple of the big things. Hades Physical Edition, which I'm getting that just for the art book alone. Like,
Yeah.
I already have it on PC.
I can't believe I'm going to spend $60 on a box for a game that I already own.
Then Apex Legends gets a Switch date, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that probably won't happen, but cross progression would be awesome. For anybody that wants, forgot Neon White. That was that like card first person shooter game. That looked really cool.
There's the game with Steve
From-
Bloom in it, right?
From the creator of Donut County.
Really?
Yep.
That's
Oh.
Interesting. Because I like
90%
that
sure. I was looking that up the other day because I was doing the same sort of thing for our show of
Mhm.
going through the announcements, and yeah, Annapurna Publishing, and it's the guy behind Donut County.
Yeah, I somehow missed that was an Annapurna game. That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, now I'm even more intrigued.
Mhm.
How about that Star Wars game that
I
came out
was
of
getting
nowhere?
to that, yeah.
You know,
Free to play?
You know,
So,
let
like-
me let me send you through the roller coaster of emotions real fast, all right?
I'm so
They're like-
sorry. I'm
'cause they're
so
like-
sorry.
They're showing off this thing and they're like, "Hey, Star Wars Hunters! It's this free to play arena shooter third person." Right? And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I mean, it's like, you know, we've already got EA out the door. They're already announcing new games with new companies and stuff. And then the splash screen comes up and I see motherfucking Zynga, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
So is Zynga the people that did Farming Simulator and all that kind of stuff?
Farmville.
Farmville, yeah.
What I like,
Farmville,
what I love is
They
they're gonna
made
be like,
all those Facebook games from like 2007, 2009-ish.
Mhm.
They've been making mobile games recently, and
Yeah.
this will
Mobile,
be
yeah.
interesting. But I was
Which
watching
it
the
is
direct.
also releasing on mobile.
Yeah, I was watching the
played it.
direct with a friend who has a strange affiliation with pod racing. So when he saw that hangar, he flipped the fuck out. He's, oh my god, it's motherfucking pod racing back! And then it's a free to play game from Zynga, and he just crashed.
I
real
thought it
hard.
was.
Ooh.
I could have sworn that like a few days before I had seen something about like some Star Wars game was like leaked to like be coming to Switch from like probably one from I think like the early 2000s, and I thought it was the announcement for that.
Republic Commando.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was an announcement for that, and I was like, all right, Zynga kind of scares me, but like the fact that it's free to play, like, what do I have to lose? I'll try it out. You just pointed out that they've made a lot of mobile games. I would kind of like this to be like, and just stick with me for the analogy, the way Power Rangers had like their fighting game on mobile,
for the
but
Grid.
then they had a different
different
There was
one on
another
mobile.
one. It was Legacy Wars.
Yeah, Legacy Wars or
Yes,
Legacy Heroes, and then Battle for the Grid was just that same concept but adapted for a full console. I'd be down if like some of the other Star Wars mobile games, like they have like that turn-based
Galaxy
one.
of Heroes.
Yeah, Galaxy. You could tell I don't play mobile games. Galaxy of
I
Heroes.
don't either. I just know a lot about Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Mhm.
If
I
this
play a
could kind
lot
of be like an
Mobile games, but I do play
adaptation.
Galaxy Heroes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
So I think that if like they could kind of follow that philosophy with their full console game, I'd be down. Obviously, just
would-
don't make it turn-based.
I would love to think that. Like ideally, I think that's like the best case scenario. I just don't have that much faith in Star Wars games at this point. Like not yet.
Other than anything that comes out of Respawn.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I know. Yeah, I know the next Fallen Order is going to be amazing because the first one was great.
Mhm.
I definitely think that getting EA not being the exclusive one is going to end up being just overall a good thing.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I feel like we also have to prepare ourselves for it. There's going to be a lot of shit mixed in with a lot of gold because now anybody can make one.
I mean, that's how it was in like the
Well,
early 2000s.
no,
It's kind
It's
of like
like it is now with Marvel. Look at
I was
Marvel.
just gonna
right?
say,
Marvel's
it's
got
not-
a ton of shovelware on mobile that is whatever, but it sells gangbusters. They make a ton of money from it.
That's where they
And
make
that
their
funds
money.
projects like Spider-Man, like Ultimate
Mhm.
Alliance 3, which I loved and everyone else hated. Things
I
like
loved
that.
it too.
So
I loved it, yes.
Yeah, you're in good company.
finally,
That
my
game was-
people,
That game was
Yes.
fucking rad.
free Raven Soft.
Exactly.
Do it.
Yes.
What I would do for the 2016 ports of the first two that were on like what is now last gen to come back. Ooh, because like I mean I liked 3, but I think
You
it's
should've
the
just-
weakest of the trilogy.
I say I
I still
bought them
think
on
2 is the
PS4, so I
weakest,
still got
but
them.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
with you
it's
on
the best.
2.
I like 2 the
I-
best because it was my
I
introduction
love
to the
it.
Civil War story.
it was mine too. I love
Same,
it for that
same.
reason, but it's still
Two.
mechanically doesn't feel as sharp as 1 or 3 for me personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the way
can't.
3 did like team up attacks and stuff. I really, really enjoyed. Like that was
2
super
had
cool.
that. 2 had the fusion attacks though.
I didn't
Yeah,
play
I
a
didn't
lot
like
of 2.
those because they were very generic. It was
I
like there were
can't
4 different attacks with different skins.
Yeah, I can't speak to like the gameplay because I played all 3 of them on different consoles because I played the first one on PS2, the second one on PS3, and obviously the third one only on Switch.
Yep.
But yeah.
A couple other announcements that came. Probably one of the bigger ones is Fall Guys coming to Switch, and later announced the
Hey.
next day Xbox. So hopefully
So do you think
they.
this
And we'll
is
get it.
where-
We'll get it in August because it probably had 1 year of exclusivity.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, July or August, because I think it was
You
the
think
July.
I think the
Right.
first one came out beginning of August.
It was the
Okay.
August PS
Or-
Plus game, so
August.
Yeah, it
Okay, I
was.
thought I could have swore it was like June or July's.
It was definitely summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is crossplay coming with this? Do you think?
I would
doubt
hope
it.
so.
I hope
It
so.
has to, if not cross-play, cross-progression. Because what's the point of me buying this when I've been playing it on the PlayStation?
And PC. I've got both because
See,
streamers.
I have it
I-
for
I played-
3.
I-
Do I really want to buy it? Like, I love the game, but like, I don't know if it's a game that I want to shell out necessarily the money for.
It's only gonna be
It's
like
not gonna be
20
that
bucks.
expensive though. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
no,
nice.
for
It's
two.
gonna be like
25 bucks, whatever.
$20. Yeah.
Let's see. Outer Wilds coming. Summer 2021.
Great get. Fantastic game.
Mm-hmm. And then something, so depending on when this episode releases, Super Mario items going to be added on February 25th to Animal Crossing.
I think the update's the 25th. I think the items start being sold as of March 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Either way, very excited.
Mm-hmm.
It
Very
looked pretty cool in the
My
trailer.
wife's a big fan though too. Who's put how many hours in Animal Crossing at this point, Brett? How many hours you put in Animal Crossing at this point? Almost 1,000.
Yeah. My
Put it
sister
out
was
there.
very excited to hear
Wow.
about the
GG.
warp pipe when I told her about that today. She's
The
like, "I
warp
don't have
pipe is
to-
the coolest thing.
Oh,
That's so
yeah.
Back and
awesome.
forth?
I'm putting one on the end of each of each end of the island. You know what I mean? And it's just that's just
Exactly.
quick travel.
Like, that's going to add so much more design like aspects to people's islands, the warp pipe.
It reminds me of if you guys played New Leaf on 3DS. They had a whole system where you could get like fortune cookies, and then you get tickets, and then you turn those tickets in, and there's a whole list of like Nintendo like licensed items, for lack of a better word. So you could run around like wearing like Majora's Mask, or have like Samus's ship in your house, or you could find like the Master Sword in its pedestal and put that. It was like all like Nintendo items from other games but it was some pretty basic stuff. This one I was really, really surprised at how many items are. It's like you could probably like recreate like 1-1 or something in Animal Crossing.
Oh, I'm
now. Like,
sure.
it's absolutely wild.
Someone
I mean,
will
big
try.
shout out to it as
Oh,
well
yeah.
because the amount of support they've given that game since
Oh,
launch
yeah.
has been incredible, and it just continues. And like, when's it gonna stop? Nobody knows, but long may it continue. Long
Where
may
the
it
hell is
continue.
Brewster's? That's my only question. Where's the fucking coffee shop?
Went out of
God
business.
damn it,
unfortunately.
Nintendo.
The pandemic.
No one's
really put
going.
a
No
lot
one's
of
leaving
The
their house.
one
to get
person that
coffee,
wants
yeah.
Brewster's back on this podcast.
I'm the only one, apparently. I'm fighting for it out here, man. Give me my digital coffee shop, you cowards. God.
All right.
Oh, dear.
Any other announcements that you guys were excited for that we didn't go over yet, or?
Something I found interesting, and this actually takes us back to Ultimate Alliance 3, surprisingly enough. DC Superhero Girls,
Yeah.
because this is a Nintendo published licensed title,
Really? I didn't
similarly to
notice
Marvel
that.
Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah. Don't know who the
Yeah,
developer
it's,
is, but
it's
yeah,
coming out
Nintendo's
specifically
publishing.
on Switch.
Yeah. And I know that like the
Exclusive to
Superhero
Switch.
Girls brand has been around for like a bit now. I think they had a show or something on Cartoon
Mhm.
Network. Like it's been a little established brand that DC's been trying to do. And like I sent that video to a friend of mine that like enjoys video games, but like doesn't it's kind of new to them, so like she doesn't have the ability to play like and she'll make this joke herself, so I'm like not being mean, but like she's like, oh yeah, no, I cannot play any of the games that you play, like a Call of Duty or a God of War. She likes the more simple games, but she loves her DC superheroes, specifically the female ones. So like that game's right down her alley.
I think
I
it,
think,
it
yeah,
plays
it's
to a
good
demographic that
one.
Nintendo doesn't typically sell to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's enough, like I've talked to people who have kids and they're like, oh yeah, my kids would be totally down for this because they know the property, they know the toys and all this stuff. It's like, okay, it's outside of my realm, but there's going to be people that'll flock to this. So
It's super
good
cool
on
that it
Nintendo.
exists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out another game that is not apparently I found out after the direct exclusive to Switch, but Knockout City.
You mean Destruction No Cars?
Yeah.
Fortune, but it's dodgeball.
Yeah, big old dodgeball game.
Yeah, which I'm like, cool. It's a dodgeball game. It sounds awesome. I went and looked up some
Rocket
gameplay,
Arena
and I
with
was like,
balls.
it actually kind of looks fun.
Rocket balls.
Rocket balls. They should rebrand.
Balls
Rocket
Arena.
powered battle balls.
Battle
that was
balls.
Rocket
I
power?
feel like a
Beta
Square
code
Enix
for this. I
meeting
should
right
give it a
now.
shot this weekend.
People just throwing out different names.
I went and looked.
Oh,
I
God.
went and looked at gameplay, and it looks like legitimately fun. It kind of reminds me a bit of like Rocket Arena and that sort of thing. Which I wonder how much of a market there is for these like kind of smaller, like but multiplayer only games. And I'm like,
It's becoming too saturated. It's
Mm.
becoming
It
way
looks
too
fun.
saturated.
but I don't think it's going to be around for that long. You know what I
It's
mean?
got to be free to play, and it won't be.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah, as
remember
long as they're
Ninjala?
free to play, I'm like, well, what's the harm in a way? Because it's like you're gonna have some probably people pick it up the first day, and enough will hopefully stick with it. Because I feel it's like okay, like you're probably into if you're not into Rocket Arena, you're into Destruction All Stars. If you're not into either, now you have Knockout City. It's like they're all kind of the same, but kind of how some people prefer PUBG or Fortnite or Apex. Like
By
I'm
somebody
okay
that
with it.
did actually play Rocket Arena. It's a shame that nobody else played it because they didn't want to shell out like $50 for this weird little arena multiplayer game, and it's like
To be
if
fair,
you
at one
only
point it
like
was just
released
free.
it for free.
Yeah, free
Yeah,
to
it was
play.
a couple months
Only
ago. I think it was
released it for
January.
free.
January was PS Plus game.
Rocket Arena was?
It was. Yeah.
I missed out on it. Did people play it?
Nope.
No,
Oh, okay,
Wait, you
well,
mean
they
like
do.
last month or last January?
No,
No,
this
like,
January.
this
that just
January.
passed.
Yeah.
I
It
thought
was December.
Control.
It was.
well, that was
It was,
PS4.
I think it was. I think
Yeah.
it was Control. It was Tomb Raider, and it was Rocket Arena.
No, I think
No, it's
it's probably
Worms
December.
Rumble. Because
No.
I still have that on my dashboard.
Because
Nah,
it was
December.
it might have been December because
That
it was
was
Worms
last year,
Rumble
yeah.
and Rocket Arena were the two.
Okay, then
Oh,
I
okay,
definitely
okay.
have it in my
right.
library, so like I might check it out.
It's fun. It's legitimately really fun, but I mean nobody played it. And it's like you might try it and be like, man, I'm gonna sit down and finally play it. You might not be able to find a match at this point, you know?
Those are like the type of games that I'm like, if I just want to listen to something like a podcast or like I have stuff to catch up on, or I just want to do something with my hands while I watch a show, but I don't need to pay attention to the story. That's the type of games I like. Like that's why I have 300 hours in Tetris 99. It's because that's my go-to game where I don't want to pay attention to the big stuff.
All right.
Question.
Yeah.
It's not an exclusive announcement at the Nintendo Direct, but they showed off like a new trailer for Monster Hunter Rise. Is anybody here a Monster Hunter fan?
Nah.
I played a
We'll
handful of them.
We'll move on.
I played a handful of them. I played the demo for Rise, and I
What do you
really
think of it?
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really
I mean-
enjoyed it. The new I can't remember the name. The lasso bug. I mean, just the
Oh, the Y bug.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Just being able to kind of zip around with that and the level of mobility it adds. It's like that's really outside of like a couple like small quality of life things. I think that's really the only like major change from World to Rise with this. But it's like the gameplay of World was already so strong anyway that I don't think they needed to do anything major. But I mean, it's like the extra level of mobility that gives that in Rise is so cool. And so it's like as long as they make some really really good monsters to fight in this one, I think it's
like
gonna pop
the
off.
art style of the game
Yeah.
as well. And did you play it in the handheld at all? Because I was shocked at how well that plays
I
in handheld.
did, and it was I played it in handheld with I still used a Pro controller, and I just had it up on the kickstand, and it played surprisingly well. I haven't played it online yet. I've only played
Switch
on
I need to
Fix.
get one of those.
yeah, I got to get me one of them at some point.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's a demo out, I actually want to try it out because I think
There
I
is,
tried
yeah.
the demo
There is.
for. There's
You've missed it.
Oh,
It came out and it was
No,
like
yeah,
limited
it
time for
was
some
limited.
fucking
one
reason.
limited runs. Okay,
Yeah.
because
Oh, okay.
there was another Monster Hunter game on Switch, I think like a year or two ago, that I tried the demo of.
Generations Ultimate, and it's not as accessible as this is gonna be.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
opened it up and they're like, "Which weapon do you want?" And they showed me like 20. I was like, "This is a bit overwhelming for like I just kind of want to check out this game." So like that kind of turned me off to it. So I could see myself getting into
I'm gonna be
a
honest. Rise
simplified
opened the
Monster
same way.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With
Rise
the
All
definitely
Monster
opens
Hunters.
with a
I think
single weapon,
I
but
think
it's
the whole
smaller.
thing the whole thing with Monster Hunter is finding that one weapon, going into like the practice arena and seeing which one suits your style. For me, the heavier weapons don't do anything for me, but for me, the more nimble ones, I'm a lot better with them. And so
So
Got
at
it.
this point, would the best demo for this game be playing Monster Hunter World as part of the PlayStation Plus collection?
I'd say so.
Oh,
I'd say
yeah,
so.
Okay. 'Cause I
honestly,
do
yeah.
want to
Final
jump
feel
into
for
that
it.
because I've not played it and it's there.
Yeah.
I
I
might as
haven't
well give it a
considered that.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rise is very much built off of what World was doing. So
Cool.
well, there you go. So before we hand it off to
We've
Jordan,
got a believer.
so before we hand it off to Jordan for the Pokemon stuff, I have one question for Kumail. Where the
Oh, no.
Heliop tile is Pokemon Sleep?
So Pokemon Sleep is actually now being rebranded to Pokemon Dormant because it's in a deep, deep sleep. And yeah, no. God knows what's happened to that game because like on my podcast, like I have my co-host give us a different excuse every week of where the Helioptile Pokemon Sleep is. I think the latest one was like Katy Perry had a song called Teenage Dream, and now she's consulting on Pokemon Sleep apparently. So I don't.
Well, she did
I
have
no
that
idea.
that one trailer for the anniversary that Katy Perry's making a new song
Yeah.
for Pokemon.
yeah,
Yeah, so it
Yep.
might be sleep related. But
Yeah.
in a more serious sense, I think because Pokemon Sleep was going to be released with a new device called the Pokemon Go Plus Plus, again, Square Enix probably had something to do with that name. I think because of when COVID hit and the production involved in making that, they probably had to delay it. So
Yeah.
who knows at this point? It's just strange they haven't mentioned it once since that announcement. Like I think the
Maybe
same
they saw
announcement we got
everybody
Pokemon
laugh at
Master
him and they were like, "You know what? Now you don't get it."
Well, they released Pokemon Smile, and like that was
They
pretty
did.
good. So
That was targeted for kids. I think Pokemon Sleep, like it's easy to make fun of, but like all those phones, all the phone apps now have like something that like can monitor your sleep habits, and like I know people that do that. That like, oh, I woke up at this point and recorded this, and I got I am fucking nocturnal and running on 4 hours of sleep every day. So like this isn't a game for me, but like I think it could work, especially with how they said Go is for walking and sleep is for health in a different way.
Yeah.
I just think it is very easy to laugh at.
could you imagine this if we got Pokemon Sleep during this like period of lockdown and whatnot? It would have been like the perfect time to have Pokemon Sleep.
I would have popped off, dude.
But Album, can I reverse this question on you
Oh yeah.
and everyone else here? If you could gamify one aspect of your life and combine it with Pokemon, what would it be and why?
I would say healthy eating. Because, well, yes.
Hey, you got to build a wrestler, dude. Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself. I said that I would love to have like a Pokemon like Wii Fit or some shit where it's like boxing with
Ooh,
Machamp
yeah.
Yeah.
or
That'd
running
be
with Pikachu
awesome.
and stuff like that.
Yo,
That'd
weightlifting
be
with
fun.
Machamp is
They-
like that's like the
they-
ultimate dream.
They
You
have
know
the
what I mean?
perfect way to do that. They have Ring Fit Adventure. Just
I was just going to say that's exactly what I want.
If they could do like a crossover, because like I bought Ring Fit and like I did it and then I haven't been and now I have to get back to it. I have a wedding to go to in July, so it's like I should get
Yeah.
off my ass.
And you got the perfect catchphrase for it. Go work them all. All the heads and abs and stuff.
Gotta gain them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
What I
exactly.
would-
hey.
What I would love as somebody with ADHD and has a hard time keeping my house clean. Give me Pokemon clean. You know what I mean? Reward me for throwing for doing my dishes or taking out the garbage.
Oh look, there's a Magikarp under your plate. Fantastic.
My wife would be very happy if that was a thing.
I'd be all over it, man. Be the best
Excellent.
husband ever.
Yeah.
You two
But yeah,
took mine
I
because I
did
need
it.
to start cleaning and working out. So like I'm trying to think.
They'd be like,
Give
"Wow,
me-
you're so good
give
at
me-
doing these things." They're like, "There was a Machamp in there. What'd you want me to do?" Like,
What I like is there's already so many idiots who play Pokemon Go while they're driving, even though it says not to play while you're driving. Give me Pokemon Go GPS.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Give me a skin
Yes.
of Waze or Google Maps or whatever, but have it gamify it the way Pokemon gamified Google Maps a few years ago with it was an
Mario
April
Kart.
Fool's Day thing, I think. Just
It
give me
was.
that on mobile. Give me that as an app. We're good to go.
And automatically swipe Pokestops for me, so I don't
Ex-
run
have
over a
some
child
integration there.
trying to get my Sinnoh or whatever.
Sorry, kid. It's nothing personal.
I don't play while driving. I play in parking lots. That doesn't count.
It's just creepier.
Well, I just mean more like, oh, I'm not. This is not fast enough to kill anyone.
I was gonna say, Jordan's like, "Hey, kid, want to see my champ in his dodgy car at a parking
Well,
lot?"
I remember when Pokemon Go first came out, Philip DeFranco made a shirt that says, "Don't mind me, I'm just catching invisible monsters," so that way nobody looked. Because oh my god, I remember the first day like raids were a thing, or not the first day, like when raids started becoming a thing, like that first year. Me and my cousins went to catch Articuno. Didn't get him. Tried to go to a different location. And then that was like the last Articuno. And within a second, we found like the first Zapdos drop of like when they were like, at this time, Zapdos will drop. And we all went.
Yeah.
And apparently it was like this, I don't even know what it was, but it was like this club for like American veterans, but it was near a park. And I just saw a building. So we didn't really know what it was. We're all out there. We're doing the thing on our phones. And some guy's like, what are all these people doing here? We're like, oh, fuck. But there was like 20 of us. We're like, explaining, like, we're just playing a game. And he's like, oh, I'm going to call the police. And I'm like, all right.
You know, what'd be
there's-
really handy for that. Pokemon self-defense coming 2022.
I mean, just like a Pikachu themed taser.
Great.
yeah, please.
Just a clock.
I was,
Pikachu taser.
I was gonna say, you have what was it, throw and sock teaching it self-defense.
Yeah, exactly.
I wrote in there.
Yeah, just break dancing for no reason.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, who wouldn't want to box with Hitmonchan? You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. Can I start with a Machop and work my way up?
Just throws out a thunder punch like immediately. Just
Mega
kills
punch.
He
shit.
picks me up with two hands and beats me with the other.
Bullet punch is the one I'd be worried about.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's sucker punch in a way, isn't it? Bullet punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
quick you can't see it coming.
Yeah.
Is a sucker punch a dark type move because it's dirty?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's priority.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
true. Shout out to sucker
Great
punch.
move.
Great competitive move.
Hey, Game
Yeah,
Freak, if you
shout out
like
to Sucker Punch. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima, Sly Cooper, Infamous.
I didn't see. I was waiting. I set it up, and I'm so glad you caught it.
Boom, out of the park.
There.
So, guys, we know next week we have on Pokemon Day for the 25th anniversary. We have a Post Malone concert. I'm assuming Katy Perry will make an appearance. Actually, you know what? Mark it right here. My first prediction of Pokemon Day 2021. Katy Perry is going to make an appearance in the concert. Maybe virtually, maybe just her song. But I want to ask us two questions, and we'll start with one. First is, what do we actually predict is going to be announced for Pokemon's 25th anniversary this year? And after we go through all that, my second question, so you guys can start thinking about it, is what is your like Pokemon pipe dream? Something you don't actually expect, but if it happened, would make you genuinely very happy. So, I mean, Alf, we want to start with you.
So for the 25th, I think a good game, because it's been a while since this game has come out, but I think a Johto version of Let's Go will be a perfect game to release in the 25th anniversary.
I could see it, and I like Johto a
I
lot.
think it's like they're also celebrating the anniversary for Crystal as well this year, at the end of this year.
Oh.
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see Johto something or other.
What do you
Yeah.
guys think the two mascots would be if it was Let's Go
So
Johto?
there was a
Togepi and
couple ideas I had.
Pichu and Togepi.
Pichu and Togepi, yeah.
Couple
So,
ideas
yeah,
I had.
that's why I'm conflicted. I feel like every generation has a very clear kind of, for lack of a better word, Pikachu ripoff.
See,
But I feel like the second gen is hard because it's like Pichu, but does that count because it's related to Pikachu? Marill, because it was originally Pika Blue. I'll get to you in a second, Al, don't worry. But it's like, it's not electric type. And then like the only other like small little electric thing is like Elekid, but like he's never really been, and he's in anime, he's been looked as like a companion or a kind of foil to Pikachu, but it's never really been like considered amongst the fan base. And like, he's my favorite. I got him right here. But like, so that's why it's like, I feel it's so much harder to pinpoint who the two would be. But Al.
so a couple ideas I had. I think
Oh.
Marill and Snubble could be a good one.
Ooh.
And
okay.
then Another idea. I can't take credit for this. I saw it on Twitter somewhere, but Umbreon and Espeon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Umbreon and
Interesting.
Espeon would be very cool.
So I think the reason why you'd
I like that.
a little
Hey.
droopy.
Awesome.
I think why you'd probably have like Pichu and Togepi is like Gen 2's really famous for introducing eggs into the game, and they're two
Yep.
egg Pokemon. So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think that's probably why they would do it. But then again, look, this is the Pokemon Company. I mean, they never do anything we actually expect them to do. So like, are we even going to get Let's Go again? I mean, I'll save this for later. But there's something I heard about, a rumored game and how that's going to integrate some stuff. But yeah, I won't distract from that right now.
Well, I mean, listen, give your prediction. I mean, you are next.
I mean, so here's the thing. So we had Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, and then we had Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then usually you'd find in 2020 you'd either have like a third game or some sort of sequel to like a main core series game. And we all thought it was going to be like, the Pokemon Company had like two presentations or two directs happening. We thought the second one's going to be Let's Go Johto, but it wasn't. And instead it was just DLC for Sword and Shield. I think they did a really good thing by introducing DLC for Sword and Shield. But the interesting thing about this DLC was it wasn't done by Masuda, who's usually the producer / director for the Pokemon game. It was done by another guy. So I'm thinking Masuda's been working on a next gen game for quite some time. And whilst I don't think it's going to be, whilst I don't think it's going to be released for the 25th anniversary, I think we're probably going to get Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. And there's a lot of signs, hinting as to why we're probably going to get that with like websites being trademarked and all that kind of stuff, or registered, sorry, not trademarked. But I sort of heard that another rumor was by this guy on Reddit who did this about 2 years ago. He was saying that the Diamond and Pearl remake would actually have Let's Go catching mechanics. And I think just the other day there was a patent for like a Pokemon control sort of device that would be released for the Switch as well. So I think we're probably gonna have exactly like the one we got with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So I think we're probably gonna get Diamond and Pearl remakes and maybe like some ports as well to celebrate the 25th anniversary, because we got like Red, Blue, Yellow, and Golden Crystal for 3DS. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be the Gen 4 remakes that have been widely rumored for quite some time.
That's definitely my big prediction, is that it's going to be Diamond and Pearl remakes. As for the Let's Go catching, is like, I didn't hate it, but I liked it because it was kind of in like a side game. I feel like if they wanted to start integrating it mainline, the best way to do it would be like, you still have to fight a wild Pokemon, but if you choose to try to catch it, that should be your mechanic, and maybe you should have that, that could be switched on and off.
Give you an option, because again, we have to think about accessibility these days. It's a big topic, and as much as like the catching mechanics in Let's Go, me being like a shiny hunter, sometimes these catching mechanics would be such bullshit, and the shiny would run away from you after a set period of time. So let's not let that happen.
I remember seeing this one streamer who was just so panicked at a shiny Hypno that her hand just kept going one way, and like,
that's why you gotta. That's why you just hit the A button. It always goes right on it. That's why you don't use the motion version.
Yep. Where were you 2 years ago, dude? Where were you 2 years ago?
Yeah, the Pro Controller.
In fact, when you play it in handheld, you actually get like the
motion
gyro
control,
and everything too. And so you gotta like point it at them. But then I found out you can just turn that off, and it'll always be centered. And then you just press A button, and it goes right at it.
I'm learning some real shit today.
I will say, like, if like 10-year-old me saw that like 22-year-old me was getting to actually throw a Pokeball to like catch a Pokemon, my mind would have been fucking blown. So like, it was fun. It's a fun gimmick.
Peripheral as well.
Yeah. I wish I got the
peripheral was a good time. I played with it a good time. I mean, and I like the Let's Go series, and just that it's like, I know some people are like, oh, I want to like real Pokemon that are so easy or whatever, but I was just like, I kind of liked it as just like a fun little casual romp through Kanto.
Let's Go definitely, I think, was also like their way of, even though Pokemon sells to kids so easily, I think it was a way to kind of, for kids that are like old enough to like Pokemon but not necessarily old enough to play the game successfully, this was kind of for them.
And it was just good
nice
graphics
fresh
too.
Paint to like explore Kanto again. It was really nice.
It was different,
in a different light.
At the end of the day, it's Kanto. Like, you get through it in a heartbeat, and you're like, all right, that was fun.
The one thing I could see us, the one reason I could see us not getting Let's Go Johto is the fact that Johto also included Kanto. I don't see them going through. I know they probably have a lot of the assets they can reuse from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but I don't know how
When
much of an effort it would be today to also have both of those regions, as opposed to back when Gold, Silver, Crystal launched, having them in
That's a
that
good
capacity.
so
And Mitch, I
when
think to add to that, you know,
when
we've
did that come
seen
out?
lately with like, Sword and Shield and, when X and Y came out, these have been, and let's be honest, as much as like Sword and Shield, I've put 500 hours before anyone adds me. It's like, these have been tech demos. They haven't been full games. They've been half
Mhm.
baked, and with the resources like Game Freak should have and the Pokemon Company have, they should be doing a lot better with these games. So like
yeah.
that's another reason why I could see like, yeah, they don't want to do Let's Go Johto just because it's too much effort.
You
And that's why
know,
I like, as much as I'm not going to be playing something like Temtem, I'm kind of glad the games like Nexamon and Temtem are coming out, because it might
Mhm.
send a message to Game Freak to like, you need to start upping your game a bit, and hopefully, we see this in a few days' time. But
yeah.
who knows?
So
Yeah.
one thing I just looked up, because I looked up the original release date for Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. So what was, I think, the span between like blue or red, blue, yellow, and then gold and silver was 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years since they released the original Let's Go.
Oh my god, it's happening! It's fucking happening, lads.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually,
Technically, it would have been 2 years because Yellow came out the year after Red and Blue.
Yeah.
But in game though, it was 3 years, I think.
Oh yeah.
there were 3 years between. Yeah, and I was also going to say, Let's
way.
Go technically takes place either after the events of Red, Blue, and Yellow, or like in a different timeline, because
Different timeline.
you meet Red and Blue, so it's not like, oh, you guys are playing as them but with a fresh coat of paint that looks more
Mhm.
modernized. So if they're gonna follow that, like, you could give us Johto without Kanto, but then that also feels like they're half-assing it. But like, I get what you're saying, Mitch. You're like, how useful is it to have 2 copies of Kanto in the same system using the same engine? At least when Gold, Silver, and Crystal did it, it's like they didn't really know what Pokemon sequels were supposed to be back then.
Mhm.
Um,
And
and
then
I
they
also
separated the best ones. I mean,
Yeah, and I also think that,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out, Fire Red and Leaf Green were closer to the original launch of Red and Blue than we were at that time.
Yeah.
So there was they kind of had to do Kanto again. And I feel like that's kind of the new timeline, is like, you have your mainstream Pokemon games, and maybe 2 to 3 generations after they came out, you get your remakes. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Omega Ruby, etc., etc. And now on top of that, we have a third tier, which is like, at some point, we're going to remake the remakes. And that's going to be the Let's Go series. It's convoluted, absolutely. But like,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
personal takeaway from it.
So everyone's saying Gen 4 remakes, and I'm totally with you. I think that's the game we're getting this year. I don't think we're getting Let's Go. I don't think we're getting a true, we're not getting a new generation. But I'll go with something different. I think that for Pokemon Day, even though we just got a Smash character announcement, they will announce Garchomp for Smash Brothers.
Garchomp.
Ooh, okay.
That's a
If Gen
ballsy-
4
that's a
was a
ballsy prediction.
Pokemon that's established in a fighting game, go
Garchomp
for
and
it.
Smash would be fucking amazing.
They usually add a Pokemon from the newest gen, right?
Typically,
They have in the
yes.
past, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes and no. If in a similar vein, then what if it was like Toxtricity in Smash?
Ooh,
I
my
feel like
guy.
Toxicity would be the one that they're hinting at right now because of the
Just 'cause they're
shiny.
doing the event.
Yeah.
The thing is, these characters are decided, or at least Sakurai said that they were
really.
decided before the game came out. So
Yeah.
I think if they were going to use a Gen 8 Pokemon, then it's more likely to be one of the
Super
starters.
Saiyan,
I think any of the starters could work. But I'm kind of wanting to figure out a way, if they got their timelines right and they could time the release of a Pokemon character in Smash with whatever the game's going to be this year. I think it's going to be Gen 4, so I think Gen 4 Pokemon in Smash makes a lot of sense.
which would be
Does
cool.
something inside you just think that he said, it's decided before ahead of time, just so people would stop atting him on Twitter for Goku and stuff like that?
That's
Sora
100%.
in Smash
Yeah.
when?
Goku's the dumbest fucking.
That's 100% why you said that, because it was happening.
And still probably is, because people don't
yeah.
care and they want Sora in Smash.
I think
want
if we
Sora
go
in Smash.
if we go back to the
great
Gen
fit.
4 discussion, I wouldn't be mad at it either, because we've got the Sword and Shield assets now. They only have to recreate some stuff for Gen 4. They've already got the template for the story, and hopefully it's the platinum fucking story, and not just Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
And let Gen 9 bake for another year or another 2 years. Don't rush that thing out.
Oh yeah, no, there's never been that. If Gen 9 was to come out this year, I think that would be the closest release ever between 2 different generations.
You'd be. I think the last one is even 2 years. To be fair, I think
Yeah,
it's
because it
been
was
like
like a year.
core game, then like core-ish spin-off game, and then like core game again.
Yeah.
And so
We
yeah, they just haven't been
Yeah,
spending time
Sun,
with it.
Sun-
Sun,
Moon-
Sun and Moon to Sword and
what was the
Shield, there
time
were 2
between-
games.
Sun and
Yeah,
Moon came out in
that's what I'm thinking
2016.
about.
Yes.
Yeah, there was Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and there was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Before that, you had X
Gen
and
5,
Y with
yeah.
nothing.
2013.
You had Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, so that was actually only 2 years apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tangent, real quick.
Same, I
There
think, with
was a
22, 22
Pokemon.
and then
I
XY.
am I am so convinced there was a Pokemon Z in the works that just never made it to the
Yep.
public. There were
Right.
so many hints in that fucking game that we were gonna get.
There was a
'cause there was,
Nintendo leak about it.
there
was
were
X, Y,
area-
X2, and Y2.
they were gonna do the twos again.
The
Yeah,
power
because
plant.
well, they
I
were
feel
like
like
code names.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like the fact
Yeah.
that, clearest one, Zygarde starts with a Z. There were
Mhm.
areas of Kalos that were like clearly blocked off, and I was like,
power
oh, this is the
plant.
next
The
game, those will
power
be
plant.
open.
Yes.
And then there was just that's what it just felt like. Oh, you guys are hinting towards something. And then when I worked at GameStop, me and my coworker were staying late once to like change the marketing, which like we had to do like once every couple weeks. He's like, yeah, just follow this guide. Here is like the posters and put them where it says. And I was doing the Nintendo section, and I look, and it's like in this column put Pokemon X, and in this column put Pokemon Z, and I froze. And I was like, yo, did I fucking miss this? And he looked. He's like, hold the fuck up. And he starts going through the papers. And we had X and Y. He goes, that was a typo, but I don't think anybody registered like the gravity of that typo.
That one piece of paper could have leaked from any GameStop, and the world
I could have
would been
taken a
set
picture of
ablaze.
that and put it on Reddit, and then just been like, this is from GameStop's marketing.
Oh yeah, 100.
Yeah.
You would have set the internet
and
on
then lose your job.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, listen, and if I didn't, I would have lost it a few weeks ago when I made a GameStop tweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that
That
went
was-
to the moon, so it's fine.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the
that
viral
that
one. Yeah.
blew up.
Any other, Chris? What are your predictions?
I feel like you guys have kind of gone over them at this point. I do legitimately think that Diamond and Pearl remakes are probably coming, or at least getting announced this weekend. As far as predictions go, I mean, I can't say anything that hasn't already been said.
I
You know,
mean,
you guys kind of covered it before I got
Yeah.
to it.
do you guys think we're gonna get Detective Pikachu 2? Because they announced that like what, a year or so ago.
I could see a
movie?
new trailer for a direct, yeah. But
I know they
don't think-
officially announced it. And they said it was gonna be for the Switch.
Yes.
They did.
Sorry, I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about the movie. I was like, yeah, I could see them making another movie.
I meant the game.
I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. I didn't play the first one.
I never played the first one, but I do know that I did see the movie, and I know that the ending in the game is a little bit more ambiguous than the ending of the movie.
Was it all a dream? What? And then
Ooh.
Detective Pikachu sequel is actually Pokemon Sleep.
Like,
We
boom.
figured it out.
Damn,
we figured it out,
done.
guys.
That's it.
There's where it is.
Yeah.
That's how it's done. We've unraveled the code.
Yeah.
And so we'll see you next week.
Shut it up.
you know.
It's over.
I mean, I just feel like they announced that game so long ago. I feel like, well, this would be the time to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think they're gonna do about HMs in the Diamond and Pearl remakes? Because I know that since
I assume
Sun
it's gone.
and Moon,
Yeah.
Gone.
yeah,
I assume it's gone because I mean, look at like the Let's Go games. I mean, Kanto had hella HMs, and
Yeah.
And I mean, Let's Go did not.
and Sun and
So-
Moon was when they started
Yeah.
kind of removing
move rocks.
HMs and bringing them in different ways.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I
I
mean,
think there will
the
be some mechanic
functionality.
in game.
Yeah, the functionality will still be there, but it's not going
Not
to
gonna be a
hey,
move,
your-
yeah.
Your Pokemon
Well,
learns this and cannot ever forget it. Yeah,
There'll either
it's
be like a
just gonna be
Pokemon helper mechanic, or it'll be because they'll still need to have those points in the game where you need to use
Yeah.
the moves,
Like
or
rock
those
climb.
Actually,
be
Sinnoh
key
had
items or something.
Hex, that
Sinnoh
Mount
had
Cornet was a
hella
fucking.
hella HMs going
You
on.
That's-
needed Rock Climb, you needed Rock Smash, you needed Strength just to get through one
Yep.
mountain. I wonder if they'll integrate it into the Pokewatch or the Poketech.
Ooh.
That'd be
That's a
Pokinav?
good shout.
Oh.
Yeah, like a pager thing from Sun and Moon.
You
Yeah,
watch
I think
this
that would make a lot of
turns
sense.
into a fucking
Yeah.
transformer now.
Honestly, I always said that the best thing they should do about HMs would just simply be to make them actual viable moves, but keep the idea of, oh, I always need a Pokemon with these in my party. Or
I mean,
the HM
Waterfall
slave.
was a good move for Flinch, but that's literally it. That's
Waterfall
all I
and
know.
Surf were like the only
Surf.
legitimate good ones. In game, like not competitively, Fly was decent, but like Rock Smash, Rock Climb, Strength, cut
Mhm.
were all kind of meh, and
You
I
got
feel it's like
dive at
Time
some
was
point.
okay as long as you're putting it on a normal type for stab, but yeah,
Yeah.
That's
for
the
the
other
most
thing. It's
part,
like
Strength
not helpful.
sometimes is okay, especially in the new
Mhm.
games where it's got like 80
yeah,
power or something. But
I always found it
Yeah.
weird that like rock climb was like a normal move.
Like, don't question the logic of a Pokemon game.
There's no logic
That's
to
true,
Pokemon.
because,
It is a game about fighting monsters.
That's also true because apparently Wooper can learn all the elemental punches.
absolutely, it can.
Exactly.
No arms.
It punches with its head.
I was gonna say its
Tail.
tail.
Charges right
I
at
was
him.
gonna say its tail.
No, it's head. It's head for sure, because that's funnier.
Well, anyway, Gen 4 remakes, everyone's going to have a Bidoof in their party, so you'll have a HM slave.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah.
Can't say
That's
that
true.
shit. Hang on.
Gen
Yeah.
4
Just
was the best HM slave.
It's Bidoof, always.
Always
so
that
just
way.
like in Gen 3, it was Celio.
Yeah.
Can I ask you
Was
guys?
it?
Yeah,
Celia
because that
was
could
really good for HMs.
it could
I've-
learn literally all the HMs.
I've literally never done that.
That's because in Gen 3 you need most of the water ones too.
Exactly.
But you get so late in the game, though.
Yeah,
Well, Sfeel, sorry, that line I should say.
Well, but I mean, still, yeah.
It's
'cause
still
I-
late
I
in the
think you
game.
got
That's
that-
true,
that-
yeah.
That's one of the island. That's the island
that's
where you
Moth
fight
Deep, isn't it?
yeah, where you fight
Outside
the,
Moth Deep.
it's
Mhm.
the double
Yeah.
gym leader.
Well, are we gonna say
Well-
Kumail?
Will Gen 4 bring back Mega Evolutions? Or are they going to stick with Dynamax? Or are they going to get
Ooh.
rid of Dynamax completely?
I
I
think
assume they're
they'll.
going to get rid of it, and we're going to have something new.
Well,
I
at
think
this
they'll
point, I
keep
don't
it,
know.
and the wild area will be the area underneath the cycling path or whatever it was, and they'll
Ooh,
expand that out and like they've
underground area.
modernized it all. It takes place in a different
There was
timeline
a
or whatever.
3D
So
camera
they've
everywhere,
really
dude.
they've deforested that whole thing, and now it's just like a big old wild area with raids and everything.
Yeah, like I'm
Mhm.
conflicted because X and Y made me think that Mega Evolutions were here to stay. They were received fairly well, and then Z moves. I was like, all right, I don't mind
Mega
these.
They come back in Sun and Moon as well. We still got Mega Evolutions in
Yeah.
the post game. And like they still
But we
use it
didn't get new ones, and they
Yeah.
weren't a part. Yeah, and
They
then
just transferred
in
up.
Sword and Shield, they hammered the point that Dynamaxing only happens in
Yes.
Galar. But someone pointed out that the end of the game where the star kind of just explodes, like maybe it went to different regions.
Mm.
Because
That's
I
so
think
cool. I like that.
I think basically now Pokemon's just like, oh, each generation is gonna have a gimmick. And I'm kind of just like, I wish they had given us one gimmick that sticks
Yes.
through the rest.
Mega
See,
Evolution.
this is the gimmick I
is-
think sticks because I think it's the most accessible because any Pokemon can do it.
That's
And
true.
I
it's a
think
mix
it's the
of
most
both.
competitively viable because anything on your team can use it. There's no items tied to it. You're not taking up pulled item slots. It
Plus,
just
if they-
it
Plus,
makes
if they
sense.
want to keep doing raids in the wild
Yeah,
area, like
that's true.
that's the way that they do it. Is Dynamax it?
I also
Yep.
heard a rumor that's like maybe now they'll start letting you have all three, but you're only allowed to ever use one during a battle.
Yeah.
So like I can have one Pokemon with a Z
Oh.
move, any of my Pokemon can Dynamax, and I can have a Mega Evolution, but if I used one, I can't do the others.
Pokemon
the
battles
thing,
are about to turn into
how
fucking
the
Dragon
I
Ball
was gonna
Z.
say that becomes like 4D chess at that point. I don't think they would want to overcomplicate the battle system more than they already have. I think this is the
That's true.
simplest it's ever been in terms of a gimmick mechanic with Dynamax, and I think that's the way it's going to stay.
It also feels like a mixture of both because the fact that anyone can Dynamax feels a lot like a Z move, but it lasts multiple turns, and they get the generic name. But then
And
a
there are
Gigamax,
some that get transformations. Yeah,
yeah, Gigamax would then be closer to Mega Evolution.
That's my problem with it, is because competitively, when you play, it's like Dynamax is one of those mechanics where your opponent can't predict what you're going to do. It's just so out there. Once you get going, you can sweep people's teams, and like to the point, like Elbow knows this, but Smogon had to ban it at some point. They were just like, "This is just you can't just do this." So
Oh,
like,
they banned Dynamaxing.
they banned Dynamax.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Wow.
Masuda gave this whole big excuse about why there wasn't a national dex in Sword and Shield because they wanted to make the game balanced. But you introduced Dynamax, which was like the least balanced thing. It's fun to use,
Yeah.
but it's not balanced. It's not balanced at all. So I'd rather have Mega Evolutions, to be honest with you.
I
but-
was
Yeah, Mega
thinking the
Evolutions were
same.
definitely much more, I think, better received. But
Mm.
I know, like, I also know some people that were like, well, I don't like that it was only for certain Pokemon. I would
Oh, that-
prefer
point.
a
Yeah,
mechanic
that's-
that I could use on anything.
And
Mhm.
especially when they were doubling up on a couple Pokemon like Mewtwo and Charizard. As much as I love both of those,
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
those were just like, oh, we know what you guys
Of course, they're doing Charizard things. Yeah, and I mean they
Yeah.
did that too with Gigantamax, right?
yeah, I was gonna say Charizard got his own Gigantamax as well. Like,
Well, didn't all the Kanto starters get a Gigantamax?
Yeah.
eventually,
got-
I think it started out with just Charizard though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Venusaur and Blastoise got them as part of the DLC.
Yeah.
Got it. I still have to play through the
The first
DLC,
DLC.
so
It's
Charizard
real
does
good,
play.
dude.
I mean,
Yeah,
to stream it, but I've been
I'm
so
still
busy.
working on my way through Sword for the
Pokemon
first time.
to be. Like the second DLC is basically like Sword and Shield tech demo. Then the first DLC is like, okay, the wild area should have looked a bit more like this, and then third DLC is like, finally some story shit that we can get through. It's
Okay.
like, who knows?
Also, the Dynamax Adventures, ton of fun to play with friends.
Yes, it's the best multiplayer content we've had ever. I'd probably say outside of like single battle, double battle. You know.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Do we want to get into our out of left field predictions, Jordan?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, like our pipe dream wishes. Go ahead.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Let's do it. All right. I never had a GameCube.
I know where that's
Oh,
going.
Coliseum XD Gale of Darkness HD Remaster Collection.
God, that would be
hell
incredible.
yes.
Do it.
It's-
Do it,
it's
Pokemon
so
Company.
We haven't had another game in that sort of ilk.
Yeah.
You know, thought, okay, a bit of a more mature like take to Pokemon. Here's a console game. People love it, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, not
Pokemon
anymore.
Battle Revolution for the Wii. Everyone wants that, right?
I like Battle Revolution. That to me felt more like a sequel to Stadium than it did Coliseum.
Coliseum had stadium functionality in it, though, too.
Mhm.
It's like you could, if you just wanted to play like you did in Stadium, you could. But also, it's got a campaign. It was perfect. It was absolutely, and you could transfer your Pokemon up from what was it, Ruby and Sapphire at the
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
Like, it
Ruby
was
and
just,
Sapphire.
it was perfect. God, I would love to see those games come back. I'm with
Here's
you on
my-
that.
Here's my biggest dream. It's never gonna happen, but here's my biggest dream. Give me another 2D Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just give me another of those. Because there's something so special about those games. And I guess, yeah, it's
Mhm.
partly down to nostalgia. But there's something about the 3D games where, you know, I think Sun and Moon maybe felt like the most complete one that's come out so far, maybe RS 2. But something's missing in those games that the 2D games perfectly captured. And like, I probably think they'll be able to chug those out a bit faster. They wouldn't have to put too much work into it. Like, just give me another 2D.
I
2D
think it
game.
was the pacing.
Yes.
Kumail, have you played Pokemon Radical Red?
No, I haven't played any like emulated game.
Are you familiar with it?
I am
No.
not.
It
What
is the game you want. It is a mod of Pokemon Fire Red
Yes.
that features every Pokemon. It removes the need
Oh.
for HMs. You play
Oh.
through Kanto. It has raid battles. It has Mega Evolutions. I don't think it has Z moves. And it's every battle, like there's a soft level cap between gyms, so you cannot get over a certain point, otherwise your Pokemon disobey you. And all the trainers that you get to eventually, they're all competitively trained. So like proper EV spreads, proper coverage moves, proper switching. Every battle is set to set. Hold items do not get, like, you use them in battle, but they're not consumed. So you can, berries don't just disappear in battles. Dude, it's the game you want.
You know how pissed I was when I had an air balloon, and I was like, "Oh, finally, I've got an air balloon." Going into like a normal trainer battle, and it just disappeared. Like, wait, where's my fucking air balloon gone? Oh my god!
I can send you a link after this. It's something special.
I would
found an
like that
emulator.
too.
I already found it. I'm playing this on stream. This is amazing.
I found a ROM hack yesterday on YouTube called Pokemon Crystal Clear, which
Yeah, Crystal
not
Clear.
as in depth, but it's like, so it's obviously a variation of Crystal. You get to choose if you want to start in Pallet Town or Johto. You
That's
can
cool.
fight the gym leaders in any order you want. Not, I'll do Johto first and Kanto first. Any order. You fight the Elite Four once you have 8. And the gym leaders scale based on how many badges you have. And
That's
you can go back and
awesome.
fight them. So if I do Brock first, but then I need to train, and after I've had like 7, I can go back to him and see how his team evolves. And once I have all 16, it's like there's final form. And also, if you want to train Pokemon that you caught later in the game, you can go back to rematch them and say, set as if I had 1 badge or 2 badges for the Pokemon that you're training.
That's cool.
I'm with Mitch. I want those XD Gale of Darkness Pokemon, Coliseum games. But also, there's a spin-off that I don't think gets enough love, and that's Pokemon Conquest. Give me a
Yes!
fucking Pokemon
Yes!
I never played it, but like it interested me. It really intrigued me.
Conquest. Yes. Oh,
I remember
dude.
getting so excited about Pokemon Conquest that before it even hit the US, I went and found like a Japanese ROM of it, and then a very, very bad translated version of that I had to patch into the ROM just so I could play it early, and it was
Let it be the same goddamn thing.
it was fucking. And then when the game came out, I bought it and played it again. But and it was night and day. That was a terrible translation that I had. It really affected some of my choices later in the game, I might add.
When did they rename Pikachu to Chonkachu? When was that a thing? Translation notes. But yeah, that'd be my get hype moment if they're like, "Oh, here's Pokemon Conquest, either sequel or ported." Just get hype moment.
Awesome.
I know there has been rumors that they were gonna make like a Pokemon collection of like a bunch of the 2D games that like are playable on Switch, or make them ported somehow in the eShop. I could see that for like the old games, the way they did the first gen on the 3DS, but like I can't imagine them being like, oh yeah, here's Black and White on the Switch. It just seems like that would go against everything that they want.
Don't
My
give me
opinion.
that hope. Don't give me that hope.
I think we could see spin-off games. Like if they did if they added the DS to the Switch, Switch Online collection or whatever it is. I could see some of those spin-off games like Ranger or Conquest. Well, probably not Conquest, but I want it to be Conquest, but it won't be because of licensing.
Yeah, Ranger, RIP your Switch screen.
Yeah.
Someone said they just do. So I saw someone saying that if they bring a Ranger back, just do it with the gyro controls.
Or hey, guess what the DS didn't have that the Switch does?
Joysticks.
Analog sticks.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about a hula hoop peripheral where you have to like hula hoop in your own room?
If you have Ring Fit Adventure, you already have the peripheral.
Yeah.
Just swing it around your arm.
Yeah.
So
someone's TV's getting broken.
So y'all want to talk about them bringing back old games? I'm noticing a huge lack of one game in particular. I mean, I'm talking old N64 era. You know what I mean? It's I mentioned it's a big package. It's got a microphone included. That's right.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you Pikachu 2, baby.
Hey, you Pikachu, but it's like fucking Siri.
Oh yeah, Pikachu's just like the new AI of the Switch.
Hey, you
And they
Pikachu.
already
It's
introduced
the
the
exact
Pikachu
same
Amazon
thing. They
bill,
up-res
right?
it. They include a microphone that doesn't work. It'd be perfect. It'd be amazing.
People
Hey,
start
Pikachu,
having a
what's the
rumor that
logo?
if you say the word PlayStation, it'll get angry.
Actually, what?
That was a rumor back
I
then.
do
That if you
remember
say
that
play,
rumor,
yeah. I feel like the modern one would be like if you just say Digimon.
Here's the
No,
thing: if I remember my experience correctly, you could say just about anything, and Pikachu would get angry because the voice recognition of the game was actually god awful and just absolutely didn't work. And I spent hours as a child because I had the actual like Pikachu edition, like N64. The game came packaged with it, and I spent hours screaming at my television, just trying to get Pikachu to do it. Please do what I want you to do.
I wonder how many kids, like the first time they learned curse words, were like, "I'm gonna say all this to Pikachu," just to see what happened.
It's just like on the screen. Are you 18? Yes, Pikachu. Okay, I'm not going down that route.
Yeah, Pikachu just turns around and is like, "The fuck you call me, you little bitch ass!" Like you've got like a really tough one.
Start playing through the game.
Yeah.
Pulls a Gluck. I was like, what the fuck?
Pikachu stripped on's just like on a fucking pole. I'll never get everything about this.
Let's go Pikachu after
So-
dark.
Oh my gosh.
Or not let's
So-
go. Hey you Pikachu after dark.
There's also another game we haven't brought up yet. And that's
go.
Pokemon Channel.
I forgot about Channel.
No, for real though. I brought that up as a joke. I thought so.
I forgot about Pokemon Channel, man. No, what was the game?
Everyone
What about a
did.
Pokemon Box?
We have it. It's called Pokemon. What do they call the new one?
Home.
Home.
Home,
I
yeah.
was trying to. I got confused between Bank and Home.
I think Bank and Home are good.
But
I mean,
anyway,
they're not games, but they're good.
They're not games though. Yeah, they're storage systems.
It's
Yeah.
whatever.
my actual get hype game would be the fabled Pokemon Rainbow, where you could go to every region.
Oh my
that.
fucking god! Wow.
That at the end of the day,
Yeah, Pokemon MMO.
that's the thing is at the end of the day, that is my genuine wish for Pokemon. Like Kumail, I know you
Mhm.
said that you were like you missed the 2D games, but it's like I'm this is just the thing I am about with most games is I find it for most part very hard to go back to older graphics, and I understand graphics aren't what make a game fun. I'm just weird in that like sometimes I think specifically with Pokemon it's because my fantasy was always to make it like 3D and stuff like that. I do think they haven't nailed the 3D
Mhm.
down, but like if they were to make like a highly graphical, go anywhere you want, any path you want, Pokemon just like Skyrim level game. That would be like if I had a genie that was like, you have 3 wishes, but only related to Pokemon. I'd be like, there's one right there.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, the
But
first
all
wish is make Pokemon real, right?
Well, yeah, no, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Eh.
Put me in Pokemon Go.
I remember no that
Mm.
deep moment. Real. I remember having like a weird little existential crisis the first time I played Pokemon Go. I was like, I feel so much for it, but it's not real. Why can't it be real?
So what if I said to you that every single like Pokemon core series game had an anime that was based around that region, and the current anime is actually based around Ash going to all these different regions, and like 25th anniversary, surprise motherfuckers, you're going to all these regions too.
But the thing is, are they gonna let you go to all the regions, or is it be like you get one city from each of them?
I'll fucking take that too, like
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
Mega Man.
exactly.
Go to Planet Town.
Yeah, the
You
greatest hits of Pokemon in a 25th anniversary title. I could dig it.
Goldenrod City. Be Goldenrod be the
Yeah, I'm
hub kind of.
dark since we started recording. I'm just gonna fix my lighting real quick, guys.
We'll
Yeah,
be
no worries.
there for whatever it is they put out this year because we are all shills for everything Pokemon.
Exactly.
I love
100%.
everything about
100%.
I will complain and then I will give them my money.
Yep.
Yeah,
As far as like one prediction, I just want to throw this. I mean, we talked a lot about remakes and stuff, and this was something that was rumored a little while ago. The rumor kind of fell off since then, but I would love to see. There was talk of Heart Gold and Soul Silver getting ported up to the Switch, which I don't know that I'd ever play another Pokemon game again.
I just don't know why they haven't made follow Pokemon a permanent thing, because people loved it in Yellow. Then we found it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. We're like, fuck yeah. And then they teased us with Let's Go. It's like, just make this a permanent fucking feature. Everybody wants to feel like Ash Ketchum and have a Pokemon that doesn't stay in its goddamn ball.
It's
And
modeling.
I think
modeling. They wouldn't be able to do it.
I think Masuda's doing something, and that game is going to blow all of our socks off. And maybe it is Rainbow, or it is a Go Anywhere, or it is an MMO style where everything's in the overworld, because they've teased these things, right? With Let's Go having overworld models, Sword and Shield having overworld models in the wild area. It's going to happen. We're getting there. It's just
we got
getting to it.
I think the whole idea with like X and Y is that they wanted to make these models to be able to like go up to other games and be able to. So you got the
Slowly
base model.
scale up.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so see what happens with that.
I do get what you mean, though, Kumail, when you're like, there's something missing about the 3D, and I think a good chunk of it came from the lack of camera. Like, you don't feel like you're in this open world 100%. I also think having a slightly more behind-the-shoulder look would help it a lot. It is, I feel like the camera's not quite in the right position just yet.
Just God of War it.
It's we've gotten closer, but like X and Y, it kind of still felt top down but 3D, except in certain areas. And like I can only imagine like what the Sinnoh Underground would look like with like the glittering cave graphics of X and Y, but now even scaled up to the Switch.
Pokemon Minecraft.
It exists.
Yeah, it is.
Pixelmon.
Pixelmon.
It exists in like
It's
multiple
really good.
ways, because there's Pixelmon.
Really
Then
damn good.
isn't there also like a server where the guy used the like, I don't know, I'm not Minecraft literate, but it's like the blocks where you can code, and he just recreated Fire Red with on like a GBA emulator in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He made like a giant playable Game Boy Advance, and then essentially like managed to like program in a ROM of Fire Red that works on this Game Boy that he made in Minecraft. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that we kind of skimmed through the what are they actually going to announce this week, because we're all convinced it's going to be Gen 4 remakes, and no one said we're going to get 20 minutes of new Pokemon Snap footage, because that's exactly what we're going to get.
We're going to get Snap, and then they're going to be like, here's 4 new Pokemon shirts.
Oh no, and we'll get another 10-minute live demo of Pokemon
Unite.
No, Matt. What's the name
we're
of?
probably gonna get Pokemon Unite though.
Unite, the MOBA. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Pokemon Masters. I was hyped for Pokemon Masters until I just didn't click with
until you played it.
Until I played it.
Yeah.
Wait, Jordan, your Pokemon.
I love that they named it Pokemon. They renamed it Pokemon Masters EX, and the hashtag on Twitter was Pokemon Master Sex.
Yes. I mean, it's not that I dislike it. It just doesn't click for the style of game I wanted. Personally,
I'll say if you have time, like just watch some of the story events, because like recently they had one where N returns, and they address the issue like the end of Black and White where he just pieces out and no one sees him again, apart from the playing White too, but like they address the whole thing and they've got a whole story segment. And I love that's why I play Pokemon Masters these days, because they've still got these like story segments that just like, oh, I love these characters.
That's actually kind of rad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they oh man, like at the moment I think there's gonna be like a story event with like Leon, with like Lance and Cynthia. So like that's the rumor anyway. But
Oh, I'm so ready to get my ass kicked by Cynthia again. And that fucking music.
I will say,
I was gonna
guys,
say Resident Evil Vampire Lady's got nothing on Cynthia.
Oh, I didn't mean like that, you dirty.
Yes,
oh,
you
yeah, maybe.
did.
You did.
Yes, you
You
know it.
did. We know you.
I'm a Misty guy, all right?
they remix like all the soundtracks from the Pokemon games, and they're fucking great remixes. So even if you don't play
Yeah.
the game, go listen to the fucking remixes because they're great.
No, here's my out of left field crazy prediction that they're going to do, because these already exist. Game Freak has the soundtracks to these games available for purchase on iTunes.
Mhm.
Fucking put them on Spotify and Apple
Spotify.
Music already.
Yes.
Do it.
I mean, that was
Yes.
a big deal when Final Fantasy did that.
Yep.
And Persona.
Maybe a big deal here
Persona
too.
recently. Yeah. It's like, come on.
God, I would love it if even if it's just like
That-
the original like red
Ooh.
blue chip tunes, man.
You
I'm all-
guys,
I'm here for it.
This makes perfect sense because we're having a concert. It's like
Ooh.
concert music.
Well, to be fair, Pokemon's done a lot of concert stuff in the past. Like they had a tour of the Kanto and Johto soundtrack.
Yes, but
And
those
now
are
we
legitimately
just-
concerts. This is a virtual
Also-
concert.
So if I may, then
There aren't going to be any announcements of that Post Malone thing.
Okay,
But
do
so
we
here's the
think?
thing. This is my boy Post Malone we're talking about. What fucking songs is he going to be singing?
I was gonna say, do you think he's gonna just cover the Pokemon theme?
It's the
Hmm.
PokeRamble before all 898 Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's
The
why
one
it's
from-
20
the one-
minutes.
The one from College Humor, where like the guy's like, "Can I leave now?" And they're like, "No."
Fun story. I saw Video Games Live a couple of years ago with my wife. She got me tickets for my birthday or something. And Tommy Tallarico brought out the original vocalist from the Pokemon theme. And he accompanied them, and legitimate just tears. Like
That's
ugly
awesome.
tears.
Is he such
I got goosebumps now thinking back to it. It's one of
He's
the
still
highlights of my
active.
life.
He's still about, so he might be at the concert actually. That's a really good shout.
Yeah, I don't know if we're necessarily gonna get announcements at the concert itself. I can see the concert being followed up or preceded by a direct,
I
and
think
the direct will be announced sometime this week.
You're gonna get the
I
direct.
think we get an announcement either Monday or Tuesday, and the direct comes Thursday.
Oh, you don't think it's
Okay.
gonna be on?
I don't think it'll be on Pokemon Day. They've done one Saturday direct in the past for Pokemon, or one Pokemon presentation. I don't think they do it again.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
the
like
only
a pre-recorded one.
I think you lose eyes doing it on the weekend. That's like, it's like rule number one: never announce something on a Friday, never announce something over the weekend, because by the time Monday comes around, the news cycle's moved on.
Yeah, I think they're definitely gonna announce different bits and bobs over the next week, and we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
because the
but
Post Malone thing is on
It's on Saturday.
Saturday.
It's on, yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I think whatever we get, like Pokemon announcement wise, will precede that. It won't be afterwards.
yeah, I totally agree. It's midnight
makes
for us in the
sense.
UK as well, so it'd be crazy to have it have the announcements
That's
done
true.
at that
Yeah,
time.
I don't think
Okay.
that'll be a thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in terms of songs, I did a tweet. So Post Malone did this Sunflower song.
Yeah.
Sunflora. I saw-
Yeah, Sunflora. Yeah.
Sunflora, yeah.
So sorry,
You're a
just to interject.
Sunflora.
I was reading the announcement from the Pokemon Company about the concert, and it says after the concert, more details about P25 music will be revealed. So be sure to stick around after the show.
Interesting.
Fucking Drake.
Al, I think we're on the right track here.
Biggest
I think
Drake.
we're on the right track.
Be onto something, man. You guys might be
Let's
onto something.
go.
The only game that I could really like, I would fuck with if they brought it back, even if it was just a port. Pokemon Puzzle.
Oh yes, yes.
Dude, I played the virtual console game on the 3DS. It's still so damn good.
That Pokemon Pinball.
Pinball would be sick.
I meant
Ruby and
Oh,
Sapphire
Pokemon Puzzle
specifically.
League.
Ruby and Sapphire specifically. Pokemon Pinball.
But you
How
got this
Nah, OG Pokemon Pinball with the Rumble Pack.
With the
Yeah.
Rumble Pack?
I'm back.
With that,
Hey.
not your Rumble Pack, a Rumble Pack.
Is that the
It
one
did have
that
a Rumble Pack in it though. Where do you think my name came from, man?
It did. It was so
Wow.
damn good. Eating up those AA batteries like nobody's business.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Charged
That-
drained
do
them
we
so
feel
quick.
like-
This is
Sorry.
a pie in the sky, but like I feel like if they're ever gonna announce the Switch getting an N64 not virtual console in the sense that you have to buy it, but the way they did NES and SNES.
Switch Online, yeah.
Online,
Switch
yeah.
Online. Pokemon would make sense because people love Pokemon Puzzle League and Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium. Like,
That's a direct announcement though. That's not a Pokemon announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Like I thought we were going to get either Game Boy or N64
What are they
as part of this
doing?
past direct, but I don't know what they're doing, dude.
They had 50 minutes.
Nintendo's being Nintendoing.
with a new story. I like that. Like, yeah, you go battle all the trainers, you get more coins, open new packs in the game, and then you have like the Elite Four of TCG people who
Or
Ooh,
TCG to
yeah.
Switch. Or
Yeah,
TCG
bring
fuck
Online
the
to
TCG
Switch.
Jesus
Then I'll
Christ.
finally learn how to play the
It's
card
so
game.
good on iPad.
I need to get it.
Yeah.
And I want I know it's on Android. Put it on iPhone, you cowards.
I don't know why it's not on the phone. It's,
dealer with TCG codes.
That's not
TCG would be like a Hearthstone level of release
Oh,
for
yeah.
Nintendo fans if they bought it anywhere other than iPad and
Yeah,
PC.
I play a lot more TCG if it was on the Switch. 100%.
Yep, same.
It'd be big for sure.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a game changer. I'd be down with that.
But yeah,
Well-
no, I'm excited, but I don't. Do you know? I don't know what her actual name is. Like Hot Video Game Cam Girl 69, whatever the fuck it is on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So apparently she was saying what Mitch was hinting to, like Masuda's working on something that's
Big.
gonna blow people's fucking mind, and just
I-
like everything, like, and whether or not we see it this week, fair enough. Maybe we won't, but I think
It's probably next year's thing. I would maybe we get a tease to
A
it at the end of
tease,
the year,
yeah.
depending on when these like let's say if it is Diamond Pearl or whatever the game they're putting out this year is, if they're putting out a game, because we all know COVID threw a wrench in everything. If it's early enough in the year, like let's say it's an early to late summer release as opposed to fall, maybe we get another direct in the fall focused on Pokemon that talks about next year. But if it's an October, November release, I don't think we hear about the crazy Masuda thing until it is presumably Gen 9 and he blows all of our socks off.
Well, that's the thing is, I know a lot of Pokemon fans have been very upset with the company and the games in recent years. I mean, I'm fairly easy to please. I'm just there to have fun. Just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean I dislike it. But like, I know a lot of people that are like, listen, if Game Freak doesn't step their shit up, like, I'm done. And I feel like the longer they wait, the more people they may lose. Also, do you guys think, like, we're all assuming Diamond Pearl remakes are real? Most games don't get announced to like the May, June-ish time. The new gens tend to be teased earlier. Do you think that they'll just go fuck it, announce it on Pokemon Day, 25th anniversary, or
I
because
think
Sword and
it's logo.
Shield was
Logo
Sword and
is
Shield
all
was
we get.
announced.
I think all we get is the logo, and they'll tell us more about it in the E3 time period.
Mhm.
to launch.
It'll be the one more thing. It'll be a logo with
Like
a
a
name,
tease,
and that's
yeah.
it.
A logo or like because like with Sword and Shield, I know they introduced us to the starters and gave us the name,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Well, we know the starters here. If it is
Yeah.
a remake, so I think logo is enough, and that'll get people hyped.
20th
Mhm.
anniversary for Sun and Moon, they showed you like concept art as well and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, it all comes.
Yeah, they
together.
showed them like drawing everything and like the studio. I
Mhm.
think they did that for X and Y as well.
And I love the like people like drawing the Pokemon. Like, is this the Pokemon we're gonna get? And they all look horribly deformed Pokemon
Yep.
compared to. What
Yeah,
we
they'll
actually-
they'll show like the first, like extrapolate the rest. I'm like, oh god, I hope not.
Yep. Oh man, I'm just really excited as a Pokemon fan for its 25th anniversary. I disagree
Yeah.
that if they do wait to show people things, because look at Sword and Shield, it's like, I don't know, third best selling Pokemon game now at this point with God knows how many million. I think.
Yeah.
It's what the third best selling game on Switch at this point, or something like that. Like it's top 5 at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, as a Pokemon fan, if they show me one game I want to play in a 20-minute presentation, whatever they show, I'm going to play 100 plus hours of. So I don't care at this
Yeah,
point.
that's the
Show
truth.
it to me.
I'm not a MOBA fan, but like Pokemon Unite, I'm gonna pick it up and give it a try anyway.
I'm
'cause-
really upset that
Same.
the beta for Unite is in Canada exclusively on Android. As someone who has an iPhone exclusively, so I need to find a friend whose phone I can borrow for like an hour just to try it.
Android.
That's why I
And you're
feel
not in
just like
Canada.
you just listen, just go to like an electronics store and get like those cheap, shitty like $90 Samsung tablets and just keep one around
I'm
for the next time
not
something's
going to a
Android
store
exclusive.
right now if I don't have
There you
to.
go. Just
Well, okay,
install-
do fucking curbside pickup or delivery. You know what I mean?
Or just
Get like a cheap Android tablet. They're not that expensive.
Just
No,
get an Android emulator on your PC. Set yourself.
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
BlueStacks exists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's a bit of an effort making a Canada account. My co-host is actually doing that. Fucking Pokemon. Yeah, good luck to you, mate. I can't be
I
bothered.
mean, my day to day is as a software developer, so if I needed to get an Android emulator set up on my computer, it's not the end of the world.
yeah,
Fairly
Yeah.
straightforward.
probably the best way to do it. And you might be even overpowered considering you can get all these like hotkeys and stuff like that. people think you're a god at the game. It'd be like Sword Art Online all over again.
No, because I don't know how the games work. So I just
Fair
been
enough.
there like, hey, look, a Pokemon. Oh, I'm already dead.
Yep.
Wait, how do I catch this thing? No, that's not how this works.
Wrong game.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, if they just look, if they give me a logo, I'm satisfied at that point. You know, I'm not gonna ask for much, to be honest with you. I'm a simp for Pokemon.
I've
so-
already-
That's the thing
already
is, I just
pre-ordered
need
Snap.
confirmation it's happening before I explode.
yeah.
We're getting
Mhm.
Snap this year. I'm already hitting my Pokemon game quota for the year. They give me more than Snap this year. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
remember.
Honestly, Snap is probably enough for me at this point, just because
Same.
I'm such a fan of the original. But I mean, if they're also like, hey, here's a re-release of another older game, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in. That's cool. I'm down with that. Because I mean, I'm still playing through Sword for the first time. I was really behind on the new ones, and so I still have to play through the DLC this year, and I'm real excited about that.
If you need help filling your decks, let me know.
Gotcha.
Hey kid, you want to see my decks?
When I told my
And-
buddy I had the national decks completed, he's like, so you have all 400? I'm like, oh, sweet
buddy.
child. You don't even know.
We've hit 1,000 at this point, right?
Sweet
This
summer
one's
child.
898.
898. The next one will likely put us over 1,000.
See, I feel like if they legitimately gave us 102 and they just were like 1,000, I could be
That's
happy
where they
with
stop,
that.
and then that's when we get Rainbow.
And that's when they
Al's
start
dreams
going.
are made true.
Yeah.
And then you see Thanos, and like half your Pokemon go like, you ain't getting Delibird anymore.
Well, I mean, that's what happened when they didn't add the national decks in, bro.
Well, I thought it was like Charizard just waiting
Yeah.
at the Galar like border, being like, "No, you ain't fucking coming in here, my friend. You get the fuck out. You go back to Sinnoh."
Border control is just a series of Charizards.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like Frostlass because of ice.
Yeah.
Testing again. Sorry.
Yeah. And
You
on
can
that,
find me at H for all your complaints. It's not okay.
and on that note, we're going to be wrapping this up. Everybody, thanks you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next Waypoint.
Bye.